Hello, welcome to another episode of my podcast, Fitlike. I'm joined tonight by Alan Reid, aka Bundy. Hello, Alan, Fitlike.
I'm no bad at all, Willie. Yourself?
Oh, very well, thank you. Now, you're a man after me and here. Do you like football and music? You can't even far with that, eh?
Oh, aye. Football music, I think that's a connections for Abdi, isn't it? Abdi loves football, Abdi loves music. It's a win.
Throw a bit of beer in the middle, like you're sorted. So, I need to start with Bundy. Far did that word come by?
Right, it's not as good a story as we would hope. It's so basically, when I was at school, you ken Darren Tate.
Aye.
So he's my best pal. Ken grew up with Darren Tate. Now, when I was at academy, Abdi had nicknames. Ken, well, you're Loon. He was Gaza. Ken with Animal, with Tiff, with
Aye.
Chipper, loads and loads of nicknames. So for a while, I had some terrible nicknames. Because my name was Alan, it got shortened to Allah when I was sitting in RE. Somebody, Smiler, he asked me the answer to that question. He says, Alan, what's the answer to this? He says, oh, it's Allah. I said, Allah. So that was me, Allah, for a year. Then I
Okay.
went down to La, and then it became Al. And then, do you ever mind Married with Children? Program was on TV.
I can vaguely
So,
mind
it
it.
was,
Aye.
so as a boy, in the main characters in there was called Al Bundy. So it got changed to Bundy. So that was when I was 13, 14. And now I'm 39, still Bundy. It's a bit disappointing. I was a lot of folk wonder if it's for Ted Bundy, but it's definitely not Ted Bundy. I'm the only thing I murder is music. That's it.
Bundy. So, like most folk, you grow up liking football and music. You got into music. What was your influences in music to get you started in the performing?
Well, actually, when I first started performing and singing, it was in a kirk, it was in a church.
Yeah.
My grandma used to take me to her church in St Haven, and I'd sing songs for her then. And then I was in choirs and stuff like that. But when I picked up a guitar, I was in a band in a church, but it was more around about the 90s. I was like Oasis and Verve. I loved the Verve. That was my favourite band. Stereophonics, all that kind of bands were coming in and go in the 90s. So that was what got my right into music. That was when the first album I bought was Urban Hymns of Verve, and I mind just blew my mind when I listened to it. Listened to it hour and hour and hour. So much that I scratched the CD and I had to go and buy it again for Woolies.
So you listen to music, but you got into the performing side then.
Well, as I say, I used to kind of play in a church and stuff like that, and then sort of drifted away from the church, and I started playing at parties. So it was a party trick, Ken. It was like 17, 18. We'd end up back at a party. There's a guitar here, Ken. Get fired to me. It's like that was my good way of bragging ice, Ken. It's a great way of meeting folk, and if you didn't have much to say, Ken, I'd plenty to sing. And then I got a gig in Oak Tree, up the stair in Oak Tree. I did that for a bottle of whiskey. They should have given me the bottle of whiskey after instead of before. But no, it was I saw first time in Oak Tree, and then I just started kind of playing after that, playing around about the Broch. As more and more folk heard me, I started getting more gigs, and then I just kind of grew from there. So that was my first gig. I was 17 in Oak Tree.
That's a guy don't think that was a busy place back in the day.
It was, but I mean, the thing was, it was our pals, Willie, Ken. Back then, we used to go out on a Thursday. That was pool night, if I mind right. Friday was darts night. Saturday, Sunday. You was kind of in the pub all the time, coming and going for the pub all the time. So it was our folk I kent. And I mean, my wife knew Katie. She worked in the bar then.
All
So
right.
although it was quite daunting, I think I didn't really realise how daunting it was until new. I'm looking back on it and thinking, man, I was a bit wild, Ken. 17-year-old standing in front of all that folk. But it was our pals, Ken, and it was our folk that were into music, Ken. So that was good. It was a good crowd. It was good times. A really good time.
And was you just playing up to date kind of music? It was only good at the time, was you?
Aye. I mean, I think it was on the same kind of music. So, Ken, it was that sort of 90s stuff that I spoke about later. And then I mind when I went to university, boy, I was biding me. He started getting me into more classic rock stuff. So into the Who and Zeppelin and introduced me to the Beatles, which was a total game changer for me. The Beatles was an absolute game changer. I was a boy at a baby, and he had this. It was a Beatles songbook, just a guitar chords, Ken, and he gave me that, and that was me for about 6 months, just solid, just playing it and learning new chords, and it's like just brilliant. Such a good band. Did so many, Ken, and it's for well before my era, Ken. The Beatles, I mean, they were finished 15 years before I was born, 20 years before I was born. So I think that's the beauty of music, though, Willie, Ken. It just spans our generations. Kind of Abdi's.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really matter how old you are, far you've come from, what you've done. It's a great equalizer, Ken. When you're listening to a tune, you're listening to the same tune, you're listening to the same band, you're hearing different things, you like different things, but it's a great leveler and equalizer, Ken. That's what I love about it.
I got my first album of the band that I love in 1975, and I still adore him yet.
If I was at,
AC/DC.
oh, aye, man. Oh, aye.
This AC/DC fanatic I've been all my life.
Well, kind of, I mind I always kind of into AC/DC, but when I really got introduced to AC/DC, started playing football for St Haven.
Okay.
So out in St Haven, it's AC/DC and Status Quo. I think pretty much a jukebox was just AC/DC, Status Quo, and it was they're a brilliant band. Just riffs, heavy riffs, and that sound is just brilliant. And that's when Angus plays that guitar, it's
just
wonderful.
It's amazing. Even the young folk nowadays can an AC/DC song of some sort.
Oh, aye. Well, that's it. It's just as soon as you hear that music, it grabs you, doesn't it? You ken the are. Hearing that opening riff to Thunderstruck, Ken. Oh, aye. You're here.
Did you come from a musical family? Was there mom and dad into music, or brothers or sisters?
Aye, well, my sister was still is a really, really good musician. So she did study music at college, uni. She was a cracking singer. So I used to sing quite a lot with her. Her music taste was atrocious, though. I shouldn't say that, but she was into like Take That and stuff like that, and all that boy bands and Ken But I mean, as far as influencing goes, Ken, she had a lot of say in influencing me. If it wasn't for her, I definitely wouldn't have picked up music. I wouldn't have started singing, Ken, because singing wasn't cool. It wasn't cool when I was younger and you're at school, so it wasn't. So she was a huge influence on me. My auntie. And I mind being a bairn and going out to Isle of Man and seeing my auntie Mary. She used to play in pubs and that. And I mind seeing her when I was, I must have been 5, 6. And that had a big influence on me. And I also found out that my granda, now I didn't even ken this until after he died, he played accordion. He was that guy who could play anything. Kind of like he just pick up an instrument and could play it. But I never really ken that. He was, he died when I was quite young and I didn't really see the best of him. It was I didn't really see him at times, but like over lockdown, so a lot of my family was telling me I had to learn Dark Island. Had song Dark Island. So it was because they used to sit around and my granddad Jimmy would play an accordion. So it's a great family song. Now, although I didn't mind that, I totally connect with that music now, Ken. So I suppose there was a lot of music in my family. My mum and dad, not massively musical. My dad likes to sing, but you'll never hear him singing. He's a manic, Ken. You wouldn't hear him singing. But he kind of got me into like Simon and Garfunkel and the chorus. He raised me on the chorus, so that was why I like a lot of that Scottish folk tunes now.
Good.
I love the chorus. Still love them to this day. They're just brilliant. Just so good. But I think you only like him if you heard them back then. If I let them to hear him now, they just look at me like I've got 3 heads. But then if you play it for somebody else that was into him, they just, yes, eyes light up, Ken.
Absolutely. You mentioned, you're not going to believe this, Alan, but The Dark Island is my mother's absolutely favourite song with Callum Kenny. And she's in a care home in Creeman, and often we have to take my phone and play it for her. And one of my favourite songs is the Bonnie Lass of 5E by the Chorus.
Oh, yes. Aye. Well, I'm exact same. That's one of my favourites. I play at every single gig. Every gig I play, I'll play Bonnie Lass of 5E. And nobody loves it.
Brilliant song. I love it. It's going to be played at my funeral. Hope it's a long time to come, but it's going to be played at my funeral.
Hopefully it will be a long time to come, Willie. I'm sure it will be a long time to come.
Well, here's hoping.
So Bonnie Lass of 5E and then AC/DC right after.
Bonnie Lass of 5E, then Thunderstruck or Whole Lotta Rosie. Well, you're out and about gigging. Is there any particular song that keeps getting cropped up as a request? Is there a favourite?
Let me think. There usually is. I mean, I had to take it off my set list because every time I was playing, folk were asking for the Backstreet Boys. I wanted it that way. So I had to weep off a set list to get rid of it. So that's not really what I'm wanting. That's just not what I'm wanting. But Mr. Brightside, that gets requested a lot.
Okay.
And even my own songs in Dorrickman, that gets requested quite a bit as well. And Sunny Days, that's another of my own songs. That gets requested a lot. But it depends. It's funny, Willie. You've got in kind of different places. So different places love different tunes. And so like Peter Reid, love the Fisherman's Blues. Forever you're at Peter Reid, love the Fisherman's Blues.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just funny. And if you go into country a bit more, like Strichen, fishy, stuff like that, they love Country Roads and Wagon Wheel, like all that country songs, Ken.
Right, okay.
So it depends where you're at, Ken.
So if in Europe singing, this is a thought came to me today. If in Europe singing or doing your thing, do you ever get brain freeze and just forget where you're at and can't mind words and
Aye. It's a nightmare.
Fit
I tend to find is if I get the first lyric, I'm fine. But every so often, that first lyric will just disappear. And it's like, and then I'm still playing, and I've just got to keep looping and looping and loop. Can I say, I did it before, like going back to Ken, you were speaking about songs that gets requested. Caledonia. I play Caledonia every single gig. Favourite tune, Ken. And anyway, it's my bread and butter. Ken, I'll be that C-Mal, he heard me singing Caledonia. And it was in time I was playing, and it wasn't in a broch. The broch's all right. I'm safe in the broch. I ken what I'm doing. It's all good. It was somewhere I hadn't played before, and I couldn't mind the first line. And I'm just like, I couldn't get it for love nor money. It's like I've sung a song hundreds of times, and it just going. So it's a good job for us. They're forgiving. I mean, they let me off with it.
I suppose it's happened to the best of musicians.
Well, can I actually cheat a wee bit anyway? So I've got a tablet that I keep a bass guitar on, but I've got a wee cheat now that I've got a folder in there that I can nip in and just take a lookie. So I've learned my lesson. That's experience. You know what my trade secrets now. Maybe look at my tablet when I'm playing.
We were doing watching you. You were like the warm up for AC/DC tribute band.
Aye.
So see if you can do it in the crowd is near your crowd, if that makes sense. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Aye.
How do you kind of approach it? Is your mindset different, or you just give it your all and see what happens?
No, I've approached it different, Willie. So if it's like that, I mean, AC/DC, I was thinking, right, I'm going to hear a rock crowd here, Ken. So what I need to do is pick all my classic rock songs, Ken, and I got a set list I crafted together. So this is perfect. This has got to nail it, Ken. I've got Who in here, I've got Guns N' Roses, I've got I'll be safe, I'll be all right. But then once I was kind of milling about a crowd, I realised actually this is my crowd. It's our folk that I can, and I completely ended up changing the set list as I was up playing. Okay. So I think what happens, Willie, and I think what you've got to do is you've got to gauge it. So if you're kind of only time I've ever came up with a set list like this is a set list I'll play, and I got to think about the tunes I'm playing. This is just what I'm going to play. It never sticks to that because you'll get a request here, or you'll kind of see somebody's like, oh, I kind of like this song, or so you try and play it to the crowd. Or only time I get into a gig, I like to, especially if it's some way that I'm new at, I like to go in and hear Yap with Abdi and just kind of see the kind of tunes they're into and sort of try and gauge it with that. Kind of because I've been doing it for that long, I've got in heaps and heaps of tunes and a really, really varied music taste. Kind of, folk ask me what kind of music I'm into, I'll say, well, I don't really care. Aye, a bit of ahang, Ken. And fit you play, it's like, well, it's a bit of ahang, and it's maybe easier if I just show you. So I quite like to get a wee gauge, and I mean, there's some songs are just, they go across generations, Ken. They just, Abdi likes that Bonnie Lass of 5-year-old, like you're saying. Abdi loves that song, Ken. Even them, and I heard it, love it. Paolo Nutini as well. I'm wondering if that's just because I love Paolo though, but that seems to kind of like that candy. Abdi loves that song. Just seem to click on it. It's something that's just got something. As you know, that certain songs have just got something, something about them.
And a song that's coming to mind is a lot of what used for darts walk-ons, Sweet Caroline.
Aye. Man, the amount of times I get asked to play Sweet Caroline, that's a standard. That is a definite standard.
Just everybody seems to ken at least 2 or 3 words of it.
Oh, that's it. I'll do dead.
Well, marking that term, it must be really good for you though when you've got a crowd and they're singing back to you or singing along with you.
Oh, aye. Here that marks it. I absolutely marks it. What a buzz. I was playing a Belgar Gala last Friday, and it's up in my top 3 gigs. It was just brilliant. Abdi was up beginning to end, singing along, dancing, and I couldn't sleep. When I went home, I was up till about 4 o'clock in the morning. I could not sleep because I was just adrenaline going. And the other thing that's been like that was see from the Brock won a league last year.
I was going to get
that. Wow, what a gig that was. That's obviously in my top 3 as well. And that was the same. It was just like the energy, because the thing is, like when you're performing, the crowd totally marks it. I don't care if other performers find it different, but I find if I've got in a crowd that's not really giving me much cut, I just wouldn't quite get it, or I don't get levels, no matter how good I'm playing, how good I'm singing. But even if I'm nae singing or playing off a great and Abdi's up for it, you just ride off this energy. It's weird. It's just like it's a collective sort of thing that it just marks you a bit better and raises you up. And it's hard to explain, but it's that thing I like about music.
I don't think the Beelzy Bar has ever seen an atmosphere like that before or since.
Oh wow, it was mental. Oh man, from beginning to end, kind of. So I was looking out, and at one point you couldn't see on a carpet. It was just bodies all way. And then it was just about that point the Broch team came in, Ken, and then I just kicked it up again. The level I thought it couldn't get any more crazy, but it just whoosh. Oh wow, like my throat was in bits after that gig. It was in bits. I was like, I don't think I want to play another gig. It's all got to become Dunes after that. It was just brilliant. I think there was a whole tension of the day, like going down and watching the Broch and seeing if and I had that song written, my Burry song. I thought, man, if we didn't score here, this song's done. It's got to be a nightmare playing the Belsley United. So it was all that tension and all, and I think Ardy was just it held the tune was out. It was,
and every pub in the Broch was buzzing that night.
Aye, it was just jumping, and it was just that feel good factor. And like I was saying, about football music, it takes folk together, and that was a perfect meeting of the two for me. Ken, it was.
I spoke to a police outside Spoons, or just for a minute to Spoons. She said every pub in the Broch is buzzing on it. There's not one single bit of trouble. Abby's out having fun, enjoying himself. So see the link at Fitman Music Head there, great.
That's it. Abdi was just out, and Abdi was in a great mood. Ken, it was. Oh man, it was brilliant. I can't find words to describe how brilliant it was. I'm starting to get like adrenaline rushes just thinking about it.
Hope you've got it on video, have you?
Yeah, I did video but with some of it I thought, right, I can't actually share that. It's looking in the crowd and going, I better not.
It just shows you. So you're saying, how long have you been doing gigs where you said you've been doing it for a while, have you?
So I started my first team when I was 17, 39 now, so 22 years.
Wow.
It's been a long time. Like,
how's a 22-year went?
Well, that's exactly it. Well, I hadn't again. It's like I look back on it, to be honest, I didn't feel that much different for fit I was then. I mean, I've obviously changed a lot, my dad knew. I've definitely got more wrinkles when I'm out here. I've got less here.
Well, if you look at my side of the screen, you've got plenty of hair.
So it just disappeared, Ken. It's been good times.
No plan for stopping, just keep going and see where it takes you.
I just keep going as long as I can. I was actually thinking that day. I was thinking, man, I wonder how long I can keep this going. Because now, when I'm playing, if I'm out in pubs, a lot of the time it's folks like my pals Burns. So I'm just wondering if it's going to come to the stage for it'll be my pals, grandkids. Well, that's maybe when it'll be time, right? That's maybe once my end Burns are out, I'll hate to stop. They'll be in bar. No, here's my dad singing again. For honest sake.
It's awful easy to embarrass your kids. Dad, do you have to walk like that? Dad, do you even have to breathe like that? I packed up this guy as we was out some night. It was somebody with school link, and he looked at me, Dad, do you have to breathe like that? How do I breathe?
That's harsh. Well, Darcy, kid, she's 10 now, but sometimes she's like, Dad, you're so embarrassing. I was like, Darcy, I'm cool. Honestly, I was like, I'm a musician. I play in pubs and stuff. Folk come and see me, kid. I'm cool. No, you're not, Dad. No, you're not. Well, cheers.
It's a battle you can't win, is it?
Well, that's it. You just got to accept it. Just got to accept that it's can be as cool as you want, but in the eyes of your kids, nah, you're just not breathing right.
Right, let's get to your other love, football. You started playing football as a youngster, I presume, like everybody else, did you?
Aye, just kicking about in the streets, playing headers and volleys and limmies and World Cup and Wally, and just playing non-stop until it got dark, and then you'd play hunty after that. But it was, I mind being young, like my young Luna now, Ken, I sit and listen to him, he's 6, and I listen to him out of Backy, and he commentates now, he's doing, Ken, and it says Reid doing the line, and he swings, what a goal for yours, and it's like, I mind doing that, Ken. But here comes Alan doing the side, he's playing for Scotland, back comes across, so I just felt like I fell in love with football very, very young, the same as Abdiel, same as yourself, Willie, I would say, Ken. just loved it. Eat, sleep, and breathe football all the way through primary school. Ken, just you wanted to do. So I'm going to be a football player. I'm going to be. Ken.
I'll be a football player.
Aye, I'm bound to be. Look how good I am. Look how fast I can run.
And fond of realisation that you were never going to be a football player.
Oof. I don't think it still is. I'm still waiting, Willie. I'm still waiting for that phone call for Stevie Clark.
Did you play for teams when you was younger?
I did, so I played for Link Up. Well, I was about under 15s. I was a bit late to the game with 11-a-sides. So played for Link Up. So under 15s, under 16s, and then left that and played amateur league. So played for the Black and White. So that was we just started a team with Black and White. It was our pals. In fact, I mean the first game, there was only two of us that was on that part. Was actually old enough to drink. And it was we were 17, 18, and went for the Black and White was brilliant, and then went fair to the Oak Tree, and then Oak Tree to the Kenyon, then Kenyon to the Clinton. And Clinton was a good team. That was a really good team. We won a lot with Clinton. Won a Scottish Cup. It was a team that probably should have been better, but it was a team of misfits, will we say? And it was and Oak Tree, but especially Oak Tree, especially Oak Tree, a brilliant team, but they do bide in on a Friday, and you could never get Abdi sober at one go. If you could have got Abdi sober at one go, it would have been a team. And the Clinton was a cracking team, and then after that, moved up to the juniors, played for Brock United. Did that for a couple of years. That was good. And then once I had the kids, I stopped doing that because I was doing the music, still doing the music at the weekends. We Brock United training twice a week and going to Fitbar on a Saturday forever. Ken, if he could have been a Larkin for us, could have been a through in Aberdeen. And then coming home, so it's just like, I knew I've got a family, Ken. Back to amateur league. Played for Clinton again. And then done on my knee at Pitsliga, all places. That was where I ended my career. So I've now got a lot of love for Pitsliga. Done on my knee.
And on bonus pitch.
Fit. Man. It was my own fault. And I mean, after I did it, like, it was Chicken who tackled me. And it was my fault. And I thought, right, I'm going for this. And I was never marking a tackle. Put the leg round. And he just kicked me in the knee. It was my fault completely. And as I was on the ground, my dad just heard him saying, well, that's your fault, Alan. Hope you're happy. I don't think he realised it was a career ender at the time, to be fair to him, but that was it. But last Saturday just passed, Willie, I was out to Clinton, with a Clinton reunion.
Okay.
It's been 10 years since I played for him. And that just made me think, it was like, how good is Fitback? And it's been 10 years. Some of the boys still playing, some of them nay. But just to go and see all these lads that probably wouldn't hadn't seen, a lot of them I hadn't seen for that 10 year. And I wouldn't see him again if it wasn't for that night. So Fitback's good for that, Ken. And even while you're playing it, I don't think you realise how much it gives you until you stop. And then you're kind of looking back and it was like just a whole kind of social aspect, getting the Kane boys. And I mean, if I'm out and about now and I'm gigging, I'll still bump into folk that I played football against or alongside, and you kind of hear we chat about it and good old days and that. And it just gives you something really special, I think. So, I mean, I played football all the way from 15 up to 30, and it was brilliant years. For every team I played for, I loved them all. It was good boys who was playing with, and it gives you that something for your life, Ken. It stands you in good stead. Some of them are good at keeping your feet in the ground as well, Ken, as you'll ken.
The thing about football, you can, as you said, you've seen guys for about 10 years, but you meet them, you just pick up, it's like for your left half yesterday.
Aye.
And
that was exactly it. I was just yapping about it. I don't even care if it was yapping about it. A lot of it was the glory days, like, my 19. Do you mind that day up in St. Coast when it was blowing a hoolie? There's a few stories like that, like.
That's a beauty. You make lifelong pals and you've got memories, and it's great being involved in a team. Now that you're a solo artist, you've gone from being in a team to a solo artist. So if something goes wrong on the stage, you've just got to rely on yourself. You've no teammates to back you up.
Aye. That's it, man. That's aye. For a guy who was a bit kamikaze in a football park, it was definitely handy to have a good keeper of hand, man.
What position did you play?
I was, right back or centre back. I was centre back at the time I was at Clinton. But it wasn't like playing centre back at Clinton because the type of team we had and the type of football I played, he was basically just a wing back, and I had Scotty Milne in front of me. So there's no way Scotty Milne's coming into your half, and you wouldn't see him the whole game. He's biding up there. There was no way he was coming back to defend. So I just basically had a hill run up there, and it was, so it was mainly defender, but I had to be on the line. I couldn't be in the middle, Willie. I once played in the middle, and it just confused me. And I need everything inside me.
Right, that's what you're doing.
Too much options. Too much options is no use for me. Like,
well, I played centre half pretty much all my career, and my mantra was win the bar and get to somebody who could play for the weight.
Aye. The winning the bar was good fun though, wasn't it? See,
great.
As a fellow defender, Willie was speaking about speaking to Bernie and Reid, and was just speaking about how much he used to love a sliding tackle, Ken. Especially on a day when it had been raining, you just had that dewy kind of surface, Ken. It was slidey. Give you an extra 10 foot. What a slide, Ken. Defender's dream. I used to love it. Love sliding tackles, like one kind of tackles.
So again, it's probably a daft question. Take yourself off your fit and music and bearings. Have you any time to do anything else? Any other interests?
Well, really, like, I think that pretty much about sums it up, Ken. I mean, I did work in that kind of gets in the road a wee bit though. But I mean, that's I pretty much fit my music and family that's what I'm about now, Ken. I like going for a pint. I'm not gonna lie, but usually that centres around music and football, Ken.
I'll come hand in hand, fit the music.
Aye, it does. I mean, it's just saying, Ken. Most Saturdays I'm gigging now. A Saturday afternoon I'll try and get down to Brock games if I can. Through the weeks the same, Ken. I'll try and watch any games that are gone, but only time I've got to myself, it'll kind of be spent with family now, Ken. It's
because the kids are not young for long. They get old
so quick. Well, that's that, Ken. I mean, Darcy, I want to be 10. Well, she is 10. It's like it's happened. Further that 10-year goal, Ken. Here's us, I want to be 6. Like, I just didn't care for it's good. And nobody says to you, see a 40 head burns. It's like, listen, take a good out, it'll disappear, Ken. They're no little long. You're like, aye. But all of a sudden you blink and it's like, dearie me. This Ken, like, I mean, Darcy's 10 going on 19. She's more like a young woman. She was more mature than me by 8, I would say. But it's at least we is like I can kind of see a lot of myself in him. He's a wee bomb. It's like you're just I get it. The difference between loons and quines. It's night and day, Ken. Loons, you're like, okay, that makes sense. Because I was thinking, I was like, man, am I really immature? Because Darcy thinks I am, and she's only 6 or 7, Ken.
And you're not cool, according to her.
Aye, and I'm not cool. Your jokes are rubbish. It's a lie.
They didn't appreciate good dad jokes, did they?
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. I throw him out willy-nilly and just get that look in. Oh, Dad.
I know the feeling. So, apart from the Brock, fit the team do you follow?
Well, you're not going to like this, Willie, but I'm an Aberdeen fan.
How am I not like it?
Because again, you're a Rangers man.
I'm there.
You know?
No. A lot of I used to be long ago. I stopped following Rangers when I got my Sky TV.
Aye.
How long ago was that?
Oof. Aye. So what happened? What was
I think I just started watching the English Premiership and the difference in the fit. I thought, wow.
Aye, well, it is night and day, isn't it? It definitely is.
To be fair, I'd stopped going to Rangers matches and work kids. You just didn't have the time to do it.
Aye.
Just
I know.
Full-time Brock supporter.
Quite right, man. Quite right. I was trying to get Ezra to it was like, you're an Aberdeen fan. He says, no, Dad. I was like, I'm a Man City fan. He says, no, you can't be a Man City fan. Can you? You need a Scottish team. It's like, aye, Brock's my Scottish team.
There you go.
Quite dad moment here. Delighted. It's like, here, I'll talk that, son. Aye, you're a Brocher through and through.
I just realised I have an orange tab on. It's never Dundee United. No, I used to be a big Rangers fan, me and my brother. Like I say, we just stopped going to matches and got my Sky TV and that was it.
Aye. I'm hardly ever at, I can't remember the last Aberdeen game I was at, to be honest. Because only Saturday I get a chance. I'm coming down to the Wales League and I'm wanting to get into the Brock games, only chance I can, because you've got a good connection, kind of Brock. It's a great club. It's in a community. The boys that play I ken them all, I ken their dads, or ken their young loons, community loons, they're Brochers. Some Peter he doesn't know, and they're out and about, but in general it's local loons, and they're good loons, Ken, on and off a pitch. I bump into quite a lot of them out and about, and bump into like Sargent and Brian Hay and Fig, and they'll never pass you through speaking, Ken. They're absolute toppers of boys. Willie West, Ken. In fact, I could just name half a whole team here. They're just absolute toppers. They're really, really nice guys, and they just. I love the way that Ibroch is still about playing for a badge. You know what I mean? It's there's no mercenaries. It's all about playing for a badge, playing for a tune, and they just take great pride in it. And the stuff they do extra as well, Ken. I mean, Ezra, his favourite player, Sean Butcher, because he did a football camp with him. He just loves Butcher, Ken. Just wants to go down and see him all the time. And
that's good.
There's a lot of Bairns like that, Ken. Because they give him the time of day, they'll speak to him, and they just love him, Ken. They look up to him, like. And I mind being looked at when I was a Bairn. It was Russell McBride for me when I was a Bairn. I loved Russell McBride. What a player. Him and Mikey Stephen and kind of sort of Scott Murray at that time as well. A lot of good players, but I mind being that age and just looking up to them and just thinking they were amazing, Ken. I knew that's for Ezra's that. And I just think a Brock team right now, there are fine loons, there are great role models. And it's... Sorry, I'm getting a bit gushy about a Brock now.
You hit the nail on the head there. Bundy, you said they're approachable. They're just normal, everyday guys.
Aye.
Good enough to play for the Brock.
Aye. And it's a great standard as well. It's a really good standard. I mean, I was doing watching the Bundy game this Saturday, Ken. I mean, just thinking, it's like, man, this is a good game. It's a physical game. It's a hard game, but Ken, it was a good game. Some good things on display. And sometimes when you watch a Brock, you think, dearie me, this is just local loons. There's a lot of talent here. Ken, a lot of talent. And it's been like that for so long. There's been so much good young talent getting produced by a Brock. It's
just a Brock. When they're spending £100,000 a week on players, get wages.
Aye, and that's the thing. It just marks it, Ken. And for a team like that to win a league like they did last season, and see if you look at other teams running about them, they had a pop at teams running about, but Ken, the likes of Martin, Brora, Buggy, there's a lot of money been spent there. Ken, they've spent a lot of money, and if you look at the budgets, Ken, whereas you look at Brock and he's came through. A couple of signings here and there, but in general, it's mainly folk that's come through, Ken.
I think that's why the folk in the tune like it so much, because, like I say, they can't be, you can't have dads, you can't have granddads.
Aye.
Was you ever at a standard with the juniors to play for the Brock?
I would like to say aye, but I don't think I was.
You never got on phone call you were waiting
No, I never got a phone call. I mean, to be honest, Willie, I was a bit late to the game. Ken, I was 24, 25 when I signed for the juniors. And I got a shock when I went to juniors. Kind of the coaching and that you got, and simple things about football that I didn't pick up on. I didn't pick up on it. I just got a Wowie in amateur league because I was quick. So I got a Wowie a lot. And then just to kind of step up and into the Super League, Premier League, and it was a huge difference. And then I mind we did play the Brock in a pre-season. I thought it was like, that's different again. Ken, that's... I mean, Russell McBride scored a header past me. I was raging. It's like, I used to love you, man. And guess mine, Graham Johnson, he was playing. What a player he was. Just, couldn't get near him. Ken. His vision and just how he played, how he took about doing his control, all that sort of stuff was just... So, although I would like to say I was at a standard play at Broch, I never got a phone call, and probably for good reason.
So, you're a teacher, is that right?
I am, I'm a teacher.
Have you always been a teacher?
No, I was a fisherman before I was a teacher. And I stopped to see, well, one, because I was about to marry my wife and I was wanting a bit more time at home. But two, I hated it. I just didn't like it at all. It wasn't for me. I wanted to like it. I wanted to be a fisherman. But nah, it's a hard life, man. It's a hard life. And I almost got put over the side. It was I mind it wheel. It was a November, December kind of day, wintry, proper horrible day, stormy as bats, Ken. And I mean, my dad shouted at me. I was like, watch your feet. And I'd looked down, there was a wire. I was standing on it. So I tried to step on it, but it caught me on the leg, flipped me over the side. And my brother just caught me and hauled me in. And that was when I was like, what am I doing here? What am I doing? I went to uni, and the only way I went to want to see Willie is because I needed money for Tina Park, because I was skint as being a student, after I graduated. So I went to want to see, and then, of course, I was like, oh, that's decent money. I'll just keep going. Then 5 years passed. And then I thought, that's fit my day, and then I found out I could be a teacher. We my degree. went back to uni, studied for a year, and then that was me, 2009, became a teacher, and kind of a great job. It's a really, really good job. I love my job. It's got moments, you'll ken yourself working in a school, it's got moments where you think, man, what am I doing here? But overall, Ken, it's guidance teaching I do, Ken. I'm a guidance teacher. So I get to see kids going for first year right through to 6th year, and then I get to can either write a reference for him for university or for a job or whatever. And then I get to see him as new. I've been doing that for 8 years, 9 years. Still bump into folk that I would have taught, Ken. And even like before I was a guidance teacher, I mean, if I was at Reid Academy, he had a football team. And it was a great football team. I loved that team. In fact, Kieran Simpson, centre-half for Brokenhoo, he played for that team. But he was little wee at the time. They were a great team. I mind Kieran, I team him aside in time. It was the first game I had in charge, Ken. We're playing Hazelhead. Now, Hazelhead was a good team because that's that centre for excellence in that they do. So they did a good team. So we're 3-3 into extra time. So, right, we're going for it here, lads. It's like, got Kieran and can explain this and wrote down. It's like, so I'm seeking you gang here. And if this boy's not there, you can go there. And if this happens, Tina about 5 minutes to explain it to the gangs. Mr. Reid, do you want me to play sweeper? It's like, scrunched up my paper. That's exactly what I want you to do, Kieran. I want you to play sweeper. Cheers, man. And that was him at 12-year-old. Good player. But there was a lot of good players in that team. We got the semi-final of the Scottish Cup. It was a shame we never got any further, but still bump into boys in that team, Ken, and they'll yap up. And it's just a really privileged position, I think, to be able to influence a young person in that way, and then be able to see him as an adult and still kind of the quite like you. Hopefully, I'll continue. And I met nobody that didn't like me just yet. Just still waiting for that, and Ken, just that crack off a jar.
As you says, the good things far outweigh the bad things working in
aye, 100%, Ken. It's as I say, it's got its moments, Ken. Sometimes you're just sitting at my desk and thinking, "What am I doing here? Why have I signed up for this, Ken? I shouldn't be doing this." But that is a minority. In fact, I think you find as well, like a lot of folk, if you say you're a teacher, it's like, oh, kids are they're well behaved nowadays. It's like, well, there are. Some of them are now, but it's a minority. But the problem is you see that minority, and when you see that minority at max, you can it's easier to see somebody shouting and being bad than it is to see 100 folk being good and achieving and doing well, Ken. So it's our perception, Ken. It's a privileged position, I would say, Willie. I think it's a privileged position.
It's a job I get every day looking forward to getting into my work. I love my job.
Aye.
I'm a people sport worker, so I'm dealing with kids all day, every day. And also, you do need a sense of humour.
Oh, 100%.
And no, but I just say I'm lucky I get to go and do my little bit to help them.
Aye. And that's it, Ken. And what you find is like a little thing. Sometimes you don't think you're doing that much, or you're just not having an effect. And then you bump into somebody doing a line and they're chuffed to get just because you gave them time of day. And the thing is, mind being younger, and you just, when you're at school, you didn't really massively appreciate what's going on. It's not until you leave school and you go into being an adult and it's like, wow, this is this is harsh. And you think, man, I feel bad. I was cheeky at teacher or this. So I get it. I understand further that. And it's
Alan, we have to cut you off and stop you there, Paul. We're running out of time.
Oh, no bother.
It's been really good chatting to you. And the next time I see you in a pub, I'll be looking for one LS of 5 for you, okay?
Aye, definitely smashing. Absolute pleasure, Willie. Thank you very, very much for that, man.
Thanks a lot, pal. Hello, thank you for watching my podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned, there'll be plenty more good episodes to come. If you would like to join me on the podcast or nominate somebody who would like to see on the podcast, get in touch. You can get me on social media, you can get me on YouTube, you can phone me. My phone number's across the screen. It is 07904 756 332. I would also like if you could subscribe to my channel. That'll help the channel grow. And smash the bell. If you hit the bell, that'll give you notifications every time an episode's uploaded. So as I say, if you want to join me on the podcast, feel free to get in touch. I look forward to speaking to you, and hopefully you'll keep watching the podcast. There will be loads more good guests to come. Thank you very much. Fitlike.